everybody, this is a video on how to write an equation for a line using 2 points. So we've kind of been working up to this learning target. Last week we practiced finding the equation of a line given the slope and a point. Today we're going to find it using 2 points. So go ahead and pause this video and write this topic and essential question in your notebook. Okay, now I want you to pause the video again and you are going to write this down in your notebook, and when you're finished writing it, unpause and we'll go through the notes together. Okay, so we are going to write an equation of a line that goes through these points. So the top half are our x numbers, and the bottom half are our y numbers. So we could think of each of these pairs, like 29 and 97, as being a point, an x and a y point. So our first question says, what is the slope of the line? Well, we could figure that out by picking 2 points and using our equation. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So I'm going to pick 2 random points, and I'm going to say this is x1 and y1, and this is x2 and y2. So if I plug those points into our equation, y2 is 52 minus y1, which is 97, x2 is 14 minus x1 is 29. So I'm going to use my phone calculator to help me with this. 52 minus 97 is negative 45. 14 minus 29 is negative 15. Negative 45 divided by negative 15 is positive 3. So using those points, I got a slope of 3. But I should be able to find the slope using any 2 points. So we're going to do it again, but using 2 other points. Let's use this one as our x1 and y1, and this point as our x2, y2. Alright, here's our equation. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So, y2 is negative 14 minus y1. y1 is 64. x2 is negative 8 minus x1 is 18. So again, I'm going to use my phone calculator. Negative 14, Negative 14 minus 64 is negative 78. Negative 8 minus 18 is negative 26. And negative 78 divided by negative 26 is positive 3. So we got the same slope using 2 different points. the next step says, use the slope and a point to find the equation of a line. So remember, our equation is written like this: y equals mx plus b. We know already that our slope is 3, so we can plug those in and get y equals 3x plus b, because we can take our m, 3, and plug that in for m in our equation. So m is 3. We're just plugging 3 in for m. So that's given our slope. Then we need to pick a point to plug in. We can choose any point from this list. I personally think it's easier to work with positive numbers. So let's challenge ourselves and pick some negative numbers. We're going to pick negative 27 and negative 71 as our point. So our point is negative 27, comma, negative 71. That is our x and our y. So in order for this equation to match these points of our lines, we need to be able to plug in this x, negative 27, and get negative 71 as our y. We basically need it to be a true statement. So we're going to plug in negative 27 for x, and we're going to plug in negative 71 for y, and we're going to solve for b. So instead of y, I'm going to put negative 71 equals, we still have this 3, parentheses, instead of x, I'm going to plug in negative 27. Plus b. So all we did was took a point from our table, and instead of x, we plugged in negative 27 for x, and then we plugged in negative 71 for y. So this is what our equation looks like now. So next we're going to solve this. 3 times negative 27 is 81, negative 81, plus b, negative 71 is still left on the other side. To get b by itself, we can add 81 to both sides so that that will cancel. Negative 71 plus 81 is 10. So we're left with b equals 10. So our equation is m is 3, b is 10. Our equation is y equals 3x plus 10. This may seem tricky, and it is, but it'll get easier the more you do it. You just kind of have to practice this process again and again. To check if our equation is correct, we can plug in another point from up here and make sure that it's true on both sides. So let's check with this point, 1864. So x equals 18, y equals 64. So in our equation, instead of y, I'm going to write 64, equals 3. Instead of x, I'm going to put 18 plus 10. 3 times 18 is 54. So we get 64 equals 54 plus 10, which is just 64 equals 64, which is true. So our steps are, you find the slope, you pick a point, plug in the slope and the point to solve for b, and then write it as a final equation. Make sure you have these notes written down in your notebook, and then I'm going to show you an example on what you're going to be doing today. So I'm going to close this, and I'm going to go to Notability to show you your worksheet for today. So this is what you're going to be working on today. Actually, this already has a solution. Let me go to Schoology and open it from there. So I'm going to go to our class. I'm going to go to Monday and Tuesday. Click on our assignment. Open it in Notability and create a new note. Now it should be in Notability. Okay. Here's what you're going to be doing for Monday and also Tuesday. So the Line Factory that you work at needs a new logo. After much work, the stylish logos below were proposed. The design department knows the coordinates, so these points, of the special points in each logo. However, the programmers, so the people who are typing this code into a computer, need to have the equations of the lines to program their pamphlet production software. Fancy. So you are going to choose one logo to work on and write the equations of the 4 line segments that make up this logo. So we're going to do one example together. Let's say you picked design A, and the first line you wanted to work on is this line segment right here in pink. So there are 2 points that you would start with. This point and this point. Those are the 2 points on your line. I'm just going to start by writing those down in this box. The next thing we need to do is find the slope. In order to do that, we need to find x1, y1, x2, y2. Our slope equation is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So if I were to plug in numbers, y2 is 168, y1 is 278, x2 is 35, x1 is 57. Again, I'm going to use my calculator. 168 minus 278 is negative 110. 35 minus 57 is negative 22. If I divide negative 110 by negative 22, I get a slope of positive 5, which is good because the slope should be positive because it's increasing. I'm going to make this a little smaller so I have room. The next step is to plug m into our equation. So instead of m, I'm going to use 5. because 5 is our slope. Then I'm going to pick one of these points to use again. Doesn't matter which one I pick. I'll just pick the second one, 35, 168. So I'm going to say use 35, 168. We're going to say 35 is x and 168 is y, because that's the order that it always goes in, x then y. So instead of y, I'm going to plug in 168, 5. Instead of x, I'm going to plug in 35. And then we need to solve. 5 times 35 equals 175 plus b equals 168. To solve for b, I can subtract 175 from both sides to undo that positive 175. 168 minus 175 is just negative 7. B equals negative 7. So my final equation is y equals 5x minus 7. Tomorrow I will post solution guides to both logo designs so you can check your work. Because I'm not here right now. But you guys need to find either all 4 equations for design B or all 4 equations for design A. Make sure to use a calculator and to check your work. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye. Hi everybody.